What is going on, IVE Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about how to avoid hitting a fat loss plateau. I've had videos on how to get out of a plateau, but this is how to avoid it altogether. Let's go ahead and talk about it in this video. All right, so fat loss plateaus are something that you technically have to deal with when you're losing weight. And this video is not it's not a bait and switch, right? It's not like I'm trying to tell you how to do something but then I'm gonna tell you, hey, you really technically can't do it. It's diving deeper than what it is to physically lose the weight, to physically lose the fat loss. It's the damning effects of when people hit plateaus and what they tend to do or what they tend to perceive is happening that can be the ultimate detrimental factor to the entire process of their weight loss and trying to regain their health. So here are some things that you need to know when it comes to weight loss plateaus. Number one, they are almost always inevitable. Now, you're going to lose weight at a certain speed, and normally the more weight you lose, the slower the speed would be for losing weight. But you're always going to be in this kind of, you have to think about it as a descending line chart, right? So sometimes, you start up here and you lose this much weight, and then you gain this much, but you didn't gain this much, you just gained this much. And over time, you'll lose a little bit more. So now you're lower than what your lowest one was previously. But you gain a little bit, you lose a little bit. You gain a little bit more, you lose a little bit more. But if you notice, the line chart is going in a downward trend. It's like if you were to look at stocks. If stocks were going in a downward trend, it doesn't matter those little spikes that go up. The overall story is this thing or this company, there's value that's being lost here. Or if it's going up, there's value that's being gained here, or perception of value, right? So you have to keep that in mind, because if you do not do that, it's going to be a very tough journey, because you're going to be judging every moment of the scale not moving, and you're going to be comparing every moment to the previous moments. So if on this Friday you lose a certain amount of weight, next Friday if you don't lose that weight, if you lose just a little bit of weight, you're going to think that something is wrong. Why is there not this linear path? People want the line to go like this, but the truth is the line goes like that, right? It's very up and down on an inter-week, inter-month basis, but it's overall a downward line chart. That's number one. But there are things that happen. Tricks are being played with the way you think you're perceiving things, right? There's also the fact that when you think you haven't lost any weight, although you are technically correct, overall your weight is very similar or the same as the last time you checked, but that does not mean that you didn't lose body fat in and of itself. You could have lost body fat. Sometimes you lose body fat that doesn't equate to a pound. Sometimes you lose body fat that doesn't equate to half of a pound. You're still progressing if you lose body fat, and it's very difficult to know if you've lost body fat in which it's half of a pound, because it doesn't come off from right here or from right here. It's not like, let's grab a half of a pound and now it's gone. No, they grab it from so many different places of your body all at the same time. So maybe from here, 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 maybe from your thigh, from your calves. They're grabbing it from so many different places that it goes below the just noticeable visual difference. You're not gonna know. That is why it is important to use things like fat calipers, because they kind of measure different points of your body, points that normally accumulate a lot of fat, and it gives you a general idea if you are losing body fat. And it's good psychologically, because trust me, It has helped so many people understand that they're still on the right path when they check the scale and see nothing is happening, but they check the fat calipers and see that they're losing visual, actual, tangible fat around their body. Because fat caliper does not measure your weight, it measures your fat loss. Granted, it's not super perfect, super accurate, but if there's a downward trend, for example, it might tell you you're 25% body fat, but you're actually 30%. It doesn't really matter that it's not telling you the exact amount, because when you circle back to everything anyways, it's just the true answer, or the true question that you're trying to get an answer to is, are you being effective with your fat loss? So if it's telling you you're 25%, but really technically you're 30%, I feel like a lot of people get caught up on these numbers. Like, no, you're not really 30, you're really 25, or you're not really 25, you're really 35. The truth is, when you're checking your body fat, the only thing that matters is that there's a consistent reduction. That's it. If you're at 25%, if that's what it's telling you, and then the next time you check, it tells you that you're at 23% or 22%, that's progress. Even if that really technically meant you were at 35% and now you are at 33%, right? So the understanding of removing fat loss to always equate weight loss is important, because when you do that, you're going to be in a psychologically better place, and you're going to be able to stick to your regimen. A lot of people just automatically say to themselves, well, it means that this must mean that my regimen is just not working. And maybe anything I try doesn't work, because every time I try something, I always hit this plateau, and it creates this feeling of dissatisfaction where you just quit and just decide you're not doing anything, or you're not going to try anything, even though the sad part about it is what you're doing is actually working. So those are the things that I need you to understand. This is how you avoid it, by understanding that, one, the scale kind of slowing down and even stopping for some points is almost inevitable. And number two, one-for-one weight loss is not attached to body fat. You have to separate the two to understand if you're progressing in what you're doing. But if you know those two things, I think you will be in a better place. Because really, it isn't a plateau. It's just the normal process of losing weight. The more weight you lose, the slower that process becomes. Hopefully this video has helped you guys. And of course, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.